The factory gold-coated Fox 38 is the most well-known, well-respected fork on the mountain biking trails, with 30 plus years of race experience and the best marketing team in the world. Well, let me tell you about the Fox 38. It's got this sophisticated air spring that's pretty difficult to set up. That's why I made this 11-minute video here to help people out. But what happens when we take the best engineerings in mountain biking suspension and we throw some aftermarket Tinkerfest into it? Well, that's what we're going to look at today. This is the Vorsprung Smash POT, and it basically converts your fork to an old school style coil. Vorsprung is a small company from Canada that makes innovative suspension products, and it's basically been shaming RockShox and Fox by modifying their stuff for many years. Coil shocks, coil forks, they're nothing new. The original mountain biking suspension had coils, not air. So this is the Vorsprung Smash POT, and it comes in at 6 pounds, 9 ounces. That is a heavy guy. And if you're a metric friend of mine, it's 2 kilograms, 985 grams with the Vorsprung Smash POT. An Airspring Fox 38 comes in at 2 kilograms, 320 grams. And if you're American, 5 pounds, 2 ounces. So the main reason coil forks are not popular is because they are a lot heavier than air. Adding 1 pound of weight to the front of your bicycle is a lot of weight, regardless if you're a full fat e-biker or a full on weight weenie. The Smashpot coil conversion promises increased sensitivity, grip, compliance, mid-stroke support, and most importantly, more consistency. So when I say consistency, air can be a little bit inconsistent, especially at high elevation, as we see all this oil and air coming out of this RockShox Zeb at the bike park. When running a coil fork, you're going to have less arm pump and exactly the same feel whether you're at 6,000 feet or at sea level. Being super consistent isn't always a good thing, but Vorsprung, being the innovative company they are, they only added one external adjustment to the Smashpot coil conversion, and it's this adjuster knob on the lower leg. This mechanism is called hydraulic bottom out, and basically it will prevent you from clapping the fork out, and it's a really good feature to have on any coil suspension. Any coil fork, including the Smashpot, is going to simplify the internals of the fork. It has less O-rings, less stiction, less parts to fail, and it's definitely easier on the mechanic side. So when we take a look at it, it's nothing fancy. Just like a rear coil shock, you're going to need to choose your spring. But when you're dealing with an innovative company like Vorsprung, they have an excellent calculator, so you can get it right in 1 to 2 coils. The Airspring 38 has quite a bit of stiction. It takes about 40 pounds of pressure to break it free. Once it's broken free, the initial movement of it takes about 20 pounds of force to get it into the travel. Pushing the coil fork onto the scale. It has no breakaway pressure and it's pretty consistent, about 20 pounds to push it down into the travel. If you were paying attention closely, the Airspring had about 40 pounds of breakaway pressure. The orange fork has the Vorsprung Smash POT in it. The black one has the standard Fox 38 Airspring. They feel very similar when pushing them on the ground. This is because the Fox 38 Airspring is super plush and almost feels like a coil, but it does have that breakaway pressure like I just demonstrated. Not only are coil forks consistent as far as elevation and temperature, they are consistent across the full range of the travel. They don't have that ramp up characteristic of air. Check it out. This isn't facts, it's just my opinion. When running a front coil fork, it's best to run a rear coil shock to match the personality of the fork. So I'll be strapping up my favorite coil of all time to match this Smash POT. There's quite an adjustment period when you're warming up to a coil fork. You're like, what is this thing? It feels so foreign compared to air. It basically goes all the way through the travel without any force. So it's super important to take your time with any new suspension, but especially a coil fork. The initial impression I get from the Smash POT, it feels identical to the old Fox coil forks from like 10 and 15 years ago. The massive spring inside the fork isolates your hands from the trail, so you basically get like zero arm pump, and it's a very nice experience on the body. The feel of the Smashpot on standard trail riding is very similar to every coil fork I've been on, the Marzocchi Z1 coil and the old Fox van coils. But one thing's starting to stick out to me in these corners. This fork has incredible mid-stroke support. The Vorsprung Smash POT matches to the Grip 2 damper excellent. Like, they feel like they're in perfect harmony with each other. When the fork tops out on the Smashpot, it definitely makes a unique noise. I'll let you take a listen. That whistling noise does not always come out of the fork, but when you top it out hard, like go off a steeper lip, it does make a whistling noise. So test runs complete. The Smashpot's really impressive. I'm going to add a bunch of low speed compression to this fork because it is so plush. First time I've ever added like 10 clicks of low speed compression. The Smashpot makes sure this fork and the wheel is absolutely glued to the ground at all times. I can tell you the trail riding experience is 5-star because you're basically isolated from all those roots and rocks. After dialing in the low speed compression for the perfect feel, it was time to start working on the hydraulic bottom out, and I can tell you this is the absolute best adjustment because it only affects the very bottom of the fork and it's an external adjustment that's easy to use. Setting up the Fox 38 with the Smashpot, I'm going to say it's about 30 to 40% easier because you don't even have to think about an air spring, tokens, or a shock pump. Basically, it took me about 10 minutes with the hydraulic bottom out, add some low speed compression, and this fork is absolutely impressive. Now, when the fork is getting rowdy, like that clip I just showed you, there is quite a bit of noise coming out of there. I'm not sure if the spring is rattling around inside of the fork or not, but it does make some different noises than the Air 38. The confidence that fork gave me on that section was just hands down impressive. Typically, coil forks sacrifice some pop to give you more traction, but the question is, how well did Vorsprung do on this kit to convert your Fox 38? The Grip 2 has a massive range in low speed compression that works 10 times better with a coil fork than it does the Air. On the Air fork, I use about 5 clicks of low speed compression. I had about 15 clicks with the Vorsprung, and the compromise in poppiness was not nearly as bad, like 20% less bad. With only a 20% compromise between the Fox 38 air spring and the Smashpot coil, it's really impressive. Not to mention, it's absolutely hands down better in the chunky roots. The Grip 2 damper is excellent. The Smashpot is excellent. The standout features of the Smashpot are the hydraulic bottom out and making your life easier. Like, if you don't want to fuss with tokens and air pressure, it's the way to go. But remember, it doesn't really change the characteristic of the Air 38. If you were to put a Smashpot in a RockShox Zeb, it would utterly transform it because the Zeb is super progressive. If you have a Fox 38 air spring and you're frustrated, you have to click this video on the screen on how to set up your Fox 38 because it's not super challenging once you understand the concepts of it.